Good morning, Renaissance Unity. It's all well? You know, when I think about that song, it's where I live. It's where I have my being. And I'm stubborn about moving away from that. That we have the power. I don't veer from that thought, that notion. And so people ask me, how do I live my life? And I say, I believe that we have power, dominion, and authority over all things, all people, and all experiences. And I will not veer from that perspective. Because it's not just a perspective, it's a truth. And the truth does what? It sets you free. It liberates you from all the different things that causes you to doubt yourself. It's that freedom, the liberation from knowing that I have power, dominion, authority over all things, all people, and all experiences. And all of those things work for my good, for my elevation, and my ability to create and innovate. Last Sunday, I was in Charlotte, as Brett mentioned. I got up early in the morning, as I usually do, even on the road. I got up at 4 o'clock. It's not a wild situation. It's a want situation. I want to achieve so many things, I can't sleep on those visions, those dreams. Can anybody relate to that? Where if you lay in bed, you feel like something is left undone. There's some opportunity that I'm missing. And so I got up at 4 o'clock in Charlotte. The sun hadn't came up, but I had a vision. And so I began every day in prayer. And I moved from prayer to meditation. What's the difference between prayer and meditation? Talk to God, listen to God. I'll take that. Close enough. But we engaged in that, and then I went to the gym on a Sunday morning because I wasn't delivering the message. Reverend Wilmer did an excellent job delivering the message. So I came back from the gym. Didn't want to wake Leah up, and so I had my laptop in this rented SUV. Pulled it out, went to the lobby area. It was a nice lobby area. Fired up the laptop, and what did I plug into? RU. And I'm sitting there into the service, taking notes, listening to the music, taking notes, listening to the music, and all of a sudden, this man walks up to me. He has his coffee and this English muffin with him. And he begins to talk with me. I don't talk during service. But he says, are you listening to some kind of success, prosperity ministry? Brett, I needed you and your elegance of the English language. But I thought about that. Am I tuned into a success, prosperity ministry? And before I said anything, I bagged up mentally. You ever had to bag up mentally? Back that mind up? So I bagged it up. And I said, well, I prefer success over failure, prosperity over poverty. And so I guess I am. And I don't know about you if you come from a background where religion taught you about suffering. And the idea is that you're a soldier if you suffer. And if you just wait to the end, by and by, your reward will come. I want my reward now. Anybody else want their reward now? And so I think I threw him for a loop because he left me alone. So Renaissance shooting, all is well, and all is in divine order. May we all stand. Now, he did get me to thinking. And we're on the 6th step of the mastermind. What's that 6th step? I ask. Can we say I ask? I ask. That's the 6th step. And based on the conversation I had with Leah, where's Leah? Raise your hand, Leah. My other Leah. This brief message, because I want to get to the cookout. I'm going to take this thing off and change my shoes and get to the cookout. Was inspired by a conversation that we had. And so I just want you to repeat after me. I'll see you later. I'll catch up with you later. But we will meet. Let's go through that one more time. I'll see you later. I'll catch up with you later. But we will meet. The meeting is between me that I know now and my highest self. We shall meet. You may be seated if you want to. Just a precursor to the cookout, Brett. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Sydney's laughing at my shirt. She want me to take it off. I'm not. What's the matter with you? Anybody ever asked you that question? What's the matter with you? What's going on with you? Well, what matters to you? What matters to you? Now, for the last 2 weeks, you've heard some messages. I asked you, what do you want for you the remaining days of this year? And Reverend Wilma gave you Wilma's will assignment. Remember that last week? She said 3 things that you will commit to. Didn't you ask them that? I did. 3 things that you will commit to. And I asked you, what do you want for you for the remainder of the year? What we're trying to do is create this synergy along with Brett's messages about what do we want for us around simply, what's your intention? What's your intention? What are you asking for out of life, out of yourself? What will you commit to at your age, at your stage? What do you will to happen? What are you asking yourself for? I ask, I will. That's what we want, those questions. And we ask you that, and some people say, I think I know what I want. It's the most common response. It's not just in this audience. It's all over the place. Ask a person what they want, and they tell you what they don't want. But say, what do you want? And nail it down is very tough to do, isn't it? And then when they say, I want something, I will commit, there's still a level of uncertainty about, can I do this? Can I become this? Can I have this? And it's still that doubt, that doubting syndrome that comes in. And so when we ask you that, it has to be paired up with, let there be light. Can we say, let there be light? Let there be light. The hesitation to move forward on what you want to happen, what you will to happen, and what you want to happen and will to happen is this uncertainty about, will there be light if I venture off from the unknown territory? If I move away from the familiar into the unknown space, what will happen? Will there be light? Or will I move into the path of darkness? And from a psychological perspective, We see it all the time. But then it moves in the question of, where's your faith? Where is your faith? Does anybody have faith? Raise your hand if you have faith. Is it mustard seed faith? Or is it watermelon seed faith? That's the question we ask ourselves. Let there be light on the path forward. Because, Lord, if there's light on the path forward, I'm willing to go there. But if there's not the certainty of light, I'm hesitant to move forward. When we go back to that question, where is your faith? Where is your faith this morning? Can we create the scenario where we conspire with the universe and say, universe, all the things that are inside of me, can they be revealed and not concealed? Can they be demonstrated outwardly? So I have a testimony to the tests that I've been through. And so it is that I see ourselves approaching this mountain, and we see this burning bush, and it's kind of awkward because most of us don't see a burning bush, do we? It's not common. But we see this burning bush, and there's a level of curiosity, and so we keep coming up the hill. We keep coming up. But as we get closer, we realize that this really is sacred territory, it's sacred ground. And then you ask, out of curiosity, who are you to the burning bush? Who are you? And all the burning bush says is that I am that I am. I am that I am. Can we just say that I am that I am? If we can stay in that moment, in the here and now, and say I am that I am, I make no excuses for who I am. No excuses for who I am. I make no apologies for who I am. I am that I am. I'm perfect. As is, I'm perfect. See, when I said, I'll see you later, I'll catch up with you later, I do believe that there is the us that we are seeing right here today. But I believe that God has ordained us to have a point where we match up. We meet the us that we're supposed to evolve into. It's like reaching the finish line. And the whole idea is that when you get to that finish line, something happens. Something happens at that finish line. I turned 60 last week. And, well, I don't know if we clap for that. I don't know about that one. But I commissioned an artist to do a piece for me. And the idea was to create something. And so he's nearing the end of that piece creation. I wanted to take a peek. And he said, no. You know how they get artistic on you. You like that too. No. Not till it's totally done. You'll mess up my vibe. This is my space to create. So no. And so that's what he was giving me the line. And so I believe that God places us here. And God wants us to come to this finish line and meet the person that we're supposed to be evolving into. Now, the question for us, each and every second, moment, is are we moving closer to making those choices, intentional choices that leads us to that space where we get to the end of that journey, we match up, and it's like looking into the mirror and saying, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Have you ever thought about that? How you're evolving? Are you evolving the way you're supposed to be evolving? It's the question. Now, if you're not making moves, making strides forward, then you know you can't be evolving into the person that you're supposed to evolve into, right? So remember those times when we say, I'm just sitting here. I'm just waiting. I'm having a bad day. We can't afford that anymore, the luxury of a bad day. You can have a bad moment, but then we have to use that next moment as an opportunity to move forward. When Brett talks about the awards last week, totally unexpected. But the idea is to let your work speak for you, not your words. Words are powerful tools, but actions speak louder than words. And so we ask the question, can you spare the change? Can you spare the change? The person that you know here today, can you spare to change that person? That's difficult. Can you spare that moment to change? Mark Twain had a quote that I really like. He says, I like progress. It's the change that I don't like. Is that most of us? We love progress, but it's the change that we don't like. And that's sad. Why can't we change? That was the question. I did a national interview, and they asked me, why can't most people change? And they did the prefix and say, you came from a struggle and background, poverty, and all those other things, And said, why can't most people change? And I went back and I pulled out something from Reverend Ike from my mental Rolodex. And he says, the reason why most of us can't change is that we have too much sense. Think about it. Most of us can't change because we have too much sense. And so we censor our way away from the things that we really want. We censor our way from the things that we will commit to. We censor our way away from the life that we really want. We censor our way from presenting ourselves as the person that we want to present to the world. We have too many senses. All those senses tell us that we can't do it. I've seen this before. I've felt this before. I've heard it before. Question is, why not me? This morning, why not me? If we have power, dominion, and authority over all things, all people, and all experiences, why not me? Why can't I have the opportunity to reinvent, resurrect myself, repackage myself, reorganize myself, reinitiate my life in a different way? Why not? That's the question. Why not? There's been so many times in my life where I took a U-turn, and then I had to go back a different route. It's just rerouting. We make mistakes. We fall down, but we get up. You heard Donnie McClurkin say that? But that's the question. But it's also the opportunity. And so I'm not going to give you any homework today, because the homework has been given by Brett when he asked you 4 weeks ago, what's your intent? Write it down. I asked you, what do you want for you the remainder of the year? And then Reverend Wilma said, give me 3 things that you will commit to. And so now we come to this moment. But what I'm going to do for the cookout, I'm going to walk around and ask each and every one of you, what will you do? What will you do for the remainder of this year to reinvent, resurrect yourself? Now, the thing about a resurrection that we don't talk enough about, and that rebirth, reinvention of self, is that if you go back and say, I need to be reinvented, resurrected, that means I'm going to become a child again. And I'm going to become a sponge. I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to open myself up to different opportunities in the art and science of learning. But the thing about if you become a child again, how many of you are willing to become a child again? You can't change. If you can't become a child again, you can't change. Because when you say, I can't become a child again, you can't open yourself up to something new. All the garbage that's inside of you, you won't release it. You won't let go of it. I'm good at disposing things that no longer serve their purpose. I'm good at walking away, leaving it alone. Let it be because it's not ready to be with me. How many of you are willing to become a child again? You have to anyway. Like it or not, it's God ordained. And every day is new. And with that newness, you have to become like a child and embrace that newness. But the thing about becoming a child that I want to leave you with is when you become that child, it requires parenting. And the parenting comes from the Word. The Word fosters the will that you will have. If you understand this piece, that if you become a child, you'll need a parent. You'll understand that the Christ Spirit within you becomes the parent. Right now, you think you're the parent, raised in the Christ up in you. And I hear that a lot in spiritual communities, including here, where you think you're going to resurrect the Christ within you, that you're going inside and you're pulling out the Christ. And so you think you're parenting that Christ in you, that you're nurturing, feeding it through the Word, reading the Bible, prayer, and meditation. I'm making a connection with the Christ that's in me. The Christ is always present, trying to connect with you, trying to get you to pull this way, come this way. This is the best way. This is the best route for you. Rerouting, reinvention, resurrection. But you're still thinking, I'm the parent here. And because you think you're the parent, you don't pull with the Christ Spirit that's inside of you. It's trying to say, the universe is yours. Everything you need is right here at your disposal for your use, for your glorification, for your magnification. All you have to do is let the Christ be the parent in this relationship. Do you get it? Y'all get it? Well, let's applaud that. I want to go back to the mastermind. I make known my specific requirements to mastermind partners. Who are the partners in the mastermind? The partners in the mastermind is you, yourself, and I. It's me. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of clarification for the relationship that I have with the Christ Spirit that's in me, that I think I'm nurturing, that I think I'm building a relationship with, but in essence, I am one with the Christ Spirit. But the Christ Spirit has to lead me. I become the child one more time. And if we can understand that, we can move forward. And I think you'll take some pressure off yourself with this notion that I've got to do it all for me. That's the thing that you have to realize about me. I'm never alone. I never do anything alone. And so I'm the greatest crybaby for help. And anybody who knows me will tell you, Stuart Boswell, Brett, Anita Hicks, they will tell you, Glenn has a way, a knack of getting you to do what you may not want to do, but you feel like you're part of a team, you feel like you're part of a spiritual movement, and so you do it. That's what you have to do, because what I understand about the human condition, which is really tied to the spiritual condition, is that we all want to feel valued, needed, and wanted. Valued, needed, and wanted. We all do. It's the common denominator. And once we figure that out, we understand better that the things that we want to manifest are not so hard, but we're making it harder because we want to be that parent in that relationship. If you can afford the opportunity to step back and let the Christ lead you, if you can spare the change, your life will change for the good. So then you begin to see it, to feel it, to smell it, to touch it, to hear it differently. Yes, I misheard you. I misheard you. Are you saying, Reverend Glenn, that I have to be a child again? Yes. You have to learn to think again, to walk again. And in that space of walking, hearing, seeing, feeling, you'll see yourself evolving into something new, something greater than you've ever experienced before. Renaissance, can we do an affirmation? Can we stand and just do this together? So I believe in power. When we started off, the pre-message song was about power. And I believe that we have power. Sometimes we don't turn on that power. And so we live in that space where I think sometimes I'm powerless. I'm powerless to do the things that I want to have, the things I want to be, who I want to be. It's not the truth of who you are. You can do anything. National Educator of the Year, I spent 8 years in special ed. 8 years. Learning how to control my stuttering. I told you before, every time I get in front of you, it's a conscious effort not to stutter because it's still there. We can do anything we want. And so if you come in here to Renaissance U and expect me ever to coddle you, as Brett say, it ain't happening. Because I know how powerful we are. Yes, life can give you some moments that hurt, that are painful. I'm sensitive to that. So I've had all those moments. I was at the cemetery on my birthday and hadn't been out to the cemetery probably since last year on my birthday. And so I'm looking for Lynn, who's my twin sister. I'm looking for her grave marker. And all the grave markers out there seem like be covered up with grass. And so I'm looking, and at that point, I'm pretty upset, and I see a vision in front of me. And that vision, I swore up and down, was my mother. And so I kept walking towards her. She went away. But when she went away, I looked down, and there was Lynn's grave marker. So understand, we sometimes say, Reverend Wilmer, God works in mysterious ways, but God works in magical ways. And so I believe that. I believe in a majestic calm. And that calmness takes us to a place where in that stillness, we're able to do that step back and see things slow down and see ourselves manifesting power, dominion, and authority over all things. Let's do this majestic calm. The inner mind is still. The soul reflects the Most High. The spirit man is God. In the great calm of the all good, I rest in peace and security. My life is now reflecting the perfect whole. I am peace. I am calm. I am security and complete satisfaction. I am one with God. I have a destiny to meet me in my highest form. And so it is. Renaissance Junior, thanks for having me this morning. You're more powerful than you know. And if we can just walk together, let me show you your greatest power that leads you to introducing yourself to the greatest you possible. Thanks for having me this morning, and God bless each and every one of you.